All right, so we are back for another day. Hello, everybody. Good morning to some. It's noon here in California. I know some of you guys are going to be in other areas, but hello and welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm definitely excited to do another live. It's still new for me, but we're gonna work out the kinks and we're gonna work through some things. So today is Money Tip Monday, and I think I have everything lined up where it's supposed to be as far as all of the information if you would like to look at the full video, because we're going to look at a video again today, guys. Kind of getting you guys used to the information and getting the information out there for you. So we're going to look at a video, and if we don't get to catch the whole video, because some videos are longer than others, and I don't want to hold you up because I know your time is very valuable. So just know that if you don't catch the whole video with me, the link will be in the description box, and you can go back and view that later. So today we're going to do money tips, and today we're actually going to be talking about savings, and we're actually going to have like a little story time here on a video. So they're going to tell us how they were able to save $50,000 in under a year in just 25 ways they were able to do it. So if you're needing to save some money or you're looking for a way to cut expenses, this is going to be the video for you. Grab your pen, grab your paper, and be ready to take some notes, okay? So let's get into this video. Just bear with me for a second while I pull that up, and we will go ahead and get into it, and so that you can do what it is that you need to do. See, so we get it's running a little bit slower, kind of like it did yesterday, guys. So I do appreciate you for bearing with me and being patient. So that is definitely to be appreciated. But we're gonna learn how this couple did it. This young lady, her and her husband, actually were the two people that saved that paid off the $50,000, and they did it by way of savings. A lot of times people say, I only make so much money, or I can only bring in so much, or I work two jobs already. Like I just am not being able to catch a break in some form of fashion. And usually it's because there's too much money in expenditures, too much money going toward bills and unnecessary things. There's so many companies out there, guys, that offer the same services or near the same services and for different prices. So you want to check those out. So let's see what they have to say as far as what they did. And hopefully that'll be some good information that you can take back with you and help you along the way. So let's get into it.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing how we paid off $50,000 in debt in less than a year. This video is actually in collaboration with Laura from Laura Mella. I love her channel. She does plan with me's, budget with me's, and all kinds of recipe and meal planning videos. You should definitely check out her videos. I really enjoy them. She's actually working on paying off debt herself, and so check out her video about that. So to get started, I wanted to give you guys a little bit of background and then kind of go into the ways that we paid off our student debt. So to start off with, this was actually our bachelor's degree student debt. Jason and I graduated in 2013. He graduated in May of 2013. I graduated in December of 2013. So he was a little bit ahead of me. The other thing I wanted to mention was that I am currently in school. I'm getting my MBA. If you've watched my videos, you probably know that. So unfortunately, I have more student debt. So in the future, you will see videos of how I'm paying that off. But for now, I'm still in school, so we're not paying off anything yet. So to go ahead and get started, we began paying off our student debt in December of 2013. And the reason why we did, it's not like we were planning on doing it that time. Jason's student debt was not due to be, made the minimum payments until February of 2014. Mine wouldn't have been until June of 2014. But then we ran into the issue of unsubsidized loans and subsidized loans. And again, I am not a professional at this type of stuff, so I'm just giving you guys my opinion or my experience with it. So if you need more details, go ahead and look that up, because this is just kind of what we've experienced. So just a quick of what I've kind of found. Subsidized loans are, you don't accrue any interest on them while you're in school. The government kind of takes care of that. But after you've been out of school, after you graduated, 6 months later, that's when interest starts accruing. With unsubsidized, the interest starts accruing right away. And so that's what happened to us. We noticed that one of my
Pause right there. That is actually very important because when I was in school, I did not know that. And it wasn't until later that I learned exactly what she just said, where one accrues interest and the other one does not. I had to learn that through personal experience. And even though it wasn't a bad experience, it was something that I was not clear on when I was going to school.
loans was accruing interest, and we thought it was stupid to, let it accrue interest when we had the money. We might as well pay it. So we made our first payment in December of 13. After that, after making that initial payment, I kind of got a little motivation, let's get this stuff done. Let's figure this out. So I made a schedule of, what we owe, how much I owe, how much Jason owes, and how long it would take. And originally we were completely fine with, doing the minimum payments and getting done in 5 or 10 years. I think our goal was 5 years. But then, we're like, well, we have the money. We're just out of school. We're working full time now. Our taste and our expenses were super low. So we were like, well, why don't we just start making some payments, getting this done. That way, we can start saving for a house. We can have a family younger and all that. So in January, we started paying off our student debt, and we did it pretty aggressively. We actually took all the extra income that we had and put it towards student debt. At that point, it was about $1,500, and that was probably very conservative. We probably had more money, being saved, but we kind of wanted to just plan for that. We knew, we for sure every month had $1,500 extra. So at that point, we started paying $750 on Jason's loans, $750 on my loans. Then we get to February, and we notice Jason's student loans are accruing interest, and it's a lot of money. I think it was a couple $100 extra from the point that we paid him off, which was the 14th, until the 24th. That was $200. And I couldn't stand it. I'm like, we are getting charged money for borrowing money, and how is it that much money? And again, I think the interest rate's
About a month ago, I told you guys that I was on a skin journey with a new brand called Agency. Let me show you really quick.
Yeah.
8% or something. It was ridiculous. I honestly can't believe that you could charge a kid that much money for, going to school. But anyway, at that point, I went to Jason and I'm like, we have the money. I think at that point we had probably $30,000 saved. Again, we didn't really have anything going on. We were new college graduates. We had, nothing to spend our money on. And so I convinced him to pay off his student debt in full. So that's what we did. In February, we paid off over $20,000 of Jason's student debt, and we were in the clear with him. He had nothing left that was due. After that point, in March, April, May, we started putting that whole $1,500 towards my student debt. And again, I had more student debt than Jason did. So when we were making those payments, it was doing something, but it wasn't bringing it down a ton. Then in June was when my student loan started accruing interest. And again, we had the money, so we paid it all off. So in June of 2014, we were completely student loan debt free. So I know that is probably not the situation for most people. I know most people don't have $30,000 saved because you have kids, you have a home, you have all this stuff. That was just kind of our situation. So I put together a list of 4 or 5 things that I thought would help you guys with paying off student loan debt or any debt in general. The first thing I think that is probably the thing that helped us the most was being good at saving. We had all that money saved from before And as time went on, we had all that money saved, like, going forward. So it was just that we were really good at saving. We both have been really great about not buying things we don't need. I don't have expensive purses. Jason doesn't have, I don't know what guys have that is expensive, but he doesn't have anything expensive either. So that was the first thing, just being good at savings. We had a ton of previous savings. So again, that might not apply to everybody, but that was kind of our thing. The second thing is to make a budget and stick with it. When we graduated and when we started doing this, I was a stickler about the budget. I am way more relaxed now. You'll see that in my future videos of my actuals versus budget videos. But if we bought anything, I'm like, well, that's over our budget. Like, we have to wait. Or if we were going to go out with someone, I'm like, okay, well, we have this much left and that's all we can spend. Or we can't do it next week. Like, I was constantly like thinking of our budget and going back to it and all of that. So that's the one thing that that's the second thing that I think is very important for you to do when you're, trying to pay off debt. The second thing is cash envelopes. And when we were doing this, I didn't even know about Dave Ramsey or any of that. It's funny how that seems to happen. I know a lot of people who've said, I've done this, but then I heard that that's like a Dave Ramsey thing. So anyway, with eating out and like entertainment, like movies and stuff like that, we had cash, and that's all we would use was cash. I had no idea about the envelopes or anything like that, but I would take out every week how much we had for eating out and all that, and that's all we spent. If we had less than that, we would have to just eat whatever we had at home. And if we wanted to go out to dinner or go out to a movie and we didn't have the money, we didn't do it. The fourth thing is to make a debt tracker. And I think this is super important. And it's not, I don't know if it's necessarily important for the actual paying off debt, but I think it's important for being motivated. Seeing those numbers go down and seeing like, okay, I have this many months left, just seeing it on paper helped me a lot. I actually made these little folders that had like, my student loan debt here, and then on, I guess it's a little messed up now, but on this side is where I had my debt tracker. So I didn't end up filling it out because we kind of like fast-tracked everything. But this really kept me motivated in the first couple months when I saw like, okay, we're spending all of our extra money on paying off the stupid student loan debt. And I hated the idea of it. Like, I hated putting all that money towards it, but we owed it. I mean, we got an education and we owed it. So on that side, I just put the debt tracker, and then actually I was messing with this earlier, but on the other side was where I would put like our receipts for what we paid. So I always kept those just in case something kind of screwy happened.
If you only list your vacation home on Airbnb, you might attract someone looking for a quaint little studio.
Boy. So we're almost finished with this video, guys.
But yeah, I mean, keeping this and making these folders, I have one for Jason as well. Just having those really helped keep us motivated and like, keep it fresh in our minds. These were always right next to our end tables in our living room. So we were constantly seeing them, constantly reminding ourselves, like, we are doing this, we are sticking to the budget because we want to get done with this. And it was great. It worked out so amazingly. And honestly, I plan on doing the same exact thing for my grad school student loans. We want to pay that as soon as we possibly can. And I guarantee we will, because it's something that you don't want to pay extra money for if you don't have to, if that makes sense. So yeah, I hope that was informational. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions about how we did it or anything like that, let me know down below. And again, make sure you check out Laura's channel because she has amazing content, and she's also doing a video on.
Okay, so that's all the information on that. All right, so just some key things that I would like to go through that this young lady stated that I really feel is important, as far as when you're trying to pay off any type of debt. Now, she was paying off student debt in particular, which is something that a lot of Americans, including myself, do, is pay off debt, student loan debt. And for some people, it can be in the six figures, like easily, especially people like her who are continuing on their education process. So, for those people, it's something, it's pretty common. So anyway, she brought up some very, very good points, and I wanted to kind of reiterate those points. She brought out about getting good at saving. I can't tell you that how important that is. To be honest with you, I was a person, I could save some money, but honestly, I would get happy about seeing the amount of money that I had. And I would honestly talk myself into thinking that what I was going to buy was an investment. I literally told myself that. Well, that wasn't always the case. And sometimes it was an investment. Sometimes I would just let my thoughts get away with me. So what I found out over time is that, girl, you can save. You're good at saving short term, not necessarily, long term. So what I did was I automated my savings, so that now when I get paid, I have it automatically set up to where my savings money is taken out without me having to do anything, without me having to look at it. And then I only have to look at the money that is not put over into another account. So when I look at my money, I know pay my bills first, and then whatever I have left over is mine for me to do, whatever I want to do, whether that's going out to eat or, taking a trip, going out with friends, anything. So that's what I did. So that was very important, to get good at saving. The importance of a budget. Definitely something that is imperative. If you want to get better at your finances, if you want to not work for the rest of your life. I know that sounds crazy, but believe me, it is possible. And there are plenty of people out here that are doing it. And maybe they're not millionaires or billionaires at this moment. Some of them are. In fact, I think there's more millionaires in America than there has ever been now. Believe it or not. And most of them are not famous. They live next door to you. They're small business owners who have some of them honestly have shops and salons. They have real estate and things of that nature. So these are people that are literally, you see on a regular basis. They look like regular people. They're not famous. They have no reason to flaunt their wealth in most cases. And then some of these people, work regular jobs, like some doctors and some lawyers. They're highly paid people. Now they do live a lifestyle that's a little bit more pricey than, say, the average millionaire on the corner that has maybe a mechanic, a line of mechanic shops, or a line of laundromats, or, something of that nature. Those people, they don't necessarily, they look like you and me. They look regular, but they can have millions of dollars in the bank, and they literally can be your neighbors. So the importance of a budget, setting it and sticking to it. It's really easy to set a budget. I tell people all the time, start with a 70-20-10. And if you can save more than that, or you can invest more than that, or you don't need that much to live off of each month because you're keeping your expenses low, then you can alter those numbers to fit your lifestyle, right? Sticking to the budget is the most important part. I can't tell you how many people that I ask, did you put your money over? Did you set your money over? Did you automate it? And they'll go, I hadn't gotten to it yet. Setting that budget, that is literally just like planning. You can plan all day, but if you don't apply that plan, that's why over here we say plan, apply, and then win. Because if you don't apply that plan, you don't know whether it's a good plan or whether it's a failing plan if you have never even applied it. But nonetheless, set and stick to that budget. And then lastly, the motivation. That is very important. And I can't tell you the number of times that I have literally looked into my investment accounts and saw that I had more money than I had last time, and how excited I'll get about seeing more money. And knowing that I did not have that before, and knowing also that I did not invest that particular amount, and just watching it grow. Same thing with debt. watching those numbers go down, watching the student loans go down, watching the car note go down, watching the mortgage go down, all that type of stuff, that is motivation for you to keep going, especially if your journey is to try to pay off something like this young lady did, which was paying off student loan debt, which is very, very important to her. She didn't want to be a slave to her student loan debt. And I honestly can second that motion, to be honest. So watching that number going down. And then something very important that she said was using a debt tracker. Yes, you can always, I guess, look on to your credit reports and things of that nature. But if you want something really simple, is like using a debt tracker. You just literally list everything that you owe, right? And then you turn around and you can calculate how much money you have to put toward that. And then also it'll calculate also how long that will take you. In fact, I actually have a debt tracker that I'm going to recommend to you guys. It is one that I use, and it does, like I said, it does calculate, it does all the work for you. It calculates everything for you. It tells you exactly how long based upon the number that you put in that you have to put toward that debt. It'll tell you how long in months that it'll take you to pay it off. And then at the bottom, it'll give you a little summary and it'll say, oh, it'll take this amount of time. Now, I'm not going to lie. When I first started out, this thing told me that I had 43 years to pay off the debt that I had listed. I had student loans, 3 of them actually. I am proud to say that within a year's time, I've gotten it from it saying 43 years for me to pay this debt off. In fact, I think it said 89 one time. But I've gotten it down to 12, where it's saying 12. So I know that as long as I keep implementing the whole system of budgeting and just sticking to my budget, it's basically going to do the same thing for me as it did for this young lady here. And all I'm saying is, if for you, maybe student loan is not, maybe student loan debt's not your thing, or maybe it's not your issue. Maybe you're trying to pay off a mortgage, or maybe you're trying to pay off a car or some old bills or something that maybe you've recently accrued, especially with this whole, situation going on. A lot of people, I'm sure, have lost items and different assets. And so maybe it's something that you can now start to apply now that everybody's hiring again and the economy's like really picking up. You can start to now try to apply some of the strategies that she applied. And like I said, the main thing was, like I said, becoming good at savings, setting that budget and sticking to it, and then using a debt tracker to help you stay motivated. That's all I got, guys. That's all I have for you today. But like I said, I will link a debt tracker in the description box. So you can check that out. See if that's something that you may be interested in for those who may be on your own journey. If you're a do-it-yourself type of person, I strongly encourage you to use a debt tracker. It will not only, I'm telling you, the joy that you get when you are deleting something off of your debt tracker that you've paid off, that I promise you, it's very, I don't even know the word to really use for it, but you become so motivated to get out and honestly find other ways to make money to help those numbers go down faster. That's what happened for me. I started looking at different ways to try to bring in some more cash so that I could help those numbers go down even faster. And then also too, I was able to move some things around credit wise and on my report and get things removed off as well. That also allowed me to eliminate some of the debt that I had off of there. So you have so many options. So this is going to be all for today. Thank you for those who are tuning in and supporting. If you did enjoy the content of this video, make sure you are liking, sharing this information out, and definitely leave a comment to let me know that you came by. Until tomorrow, we are going to come back tomorrow with another live video. So be sure to tune in tomorrow. I'm looking and trying for 12 o'clock, guys, but I've been having some issues just trying to get used to this programming and the internet and everything. So I'm just trying to balance everything out. So please bear with me, but I definitely thank you all for stopping in again. And I hope that I will see you in the future. All right. So have a good day and see you next time. Oh yeah, and don't forget, if you plan and you apply that plan, you'll definitely win. Peace.